Welcome, Leo, to your May 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is the first time you've tuned into my channel, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below. Now, don't panic if you don't hear from me right away. It does take time for me to get through all of the people who do subscribe and ask a question. So just have a bit of patience. It's all good. I will absolutely promise to get back to everybody who subscribes. Now, this month is looking quite interesting for you, Leos. Now, you have a beautiful energy to start out the beginning of the month. You've got the Six of Wands, and what a wonderful card. Not only the Six of Wands, but the Star card. And the Six of Wands specifically talks about victory. And not only victory, but you're actually being rewarded for your efforts. People are looking at you and celebrating your achievements. It's just, this is basically the victory card out of the whole deck. When you get this, it talks about you actually making great strides in your journey. Whatever that is for all of you, you are really achieving a lot of stuff and being very successful and victorious at it. This is just quite, it's almost like, if you look at the card, the person is riding on a horse with people cheering in the background, and that's kind of the energy around it. You're getting applauded for what you've done. Now, also, this can talk about information that's headed your way that's really going to make you so happy. And you may win an award or get a promotion, or you might even, it's almost like you might achieve something that you've been hoping for. If you've got a creative project, you're going to get word that things are going to be going your way, or people want to back you, or it's just wonderful. It's like wonderful things that are finally making their way to your door. And, just being recognized for your accomplishments in a very public way as well. And, it's a great time for you to be doing some self-promotion or marketing if you're in the media or something like that, just to really get your name out there, get your product out there if you are doing something like that. Even if you have a YouTube channel or something like that, it's worth promoting it because there's a lot of wonderful stuff that is coming in for you in May. Now, you have that Star card there, and this is a card of hope, and it's just beautiful, wonderful energy. If you can just sort of say one word that describes it, this is faith and hope and true understanding as well. Just such a beautiful energy. And it really talks about your choices have been quite good, really well-made choices that are now going to be allowing you to really make some long-term plans, because the choices that you've made in the past have now led you to this point. And I feel this card is going hand in hand with that Six of Wands there. It's almost like you've got a sense of purpose, and it's allowing you to actually see the abundant future that's in your reach. And it's just faith, pure faith in one word. And also, this is another one of those Make-A-Wish cards. So, since you're on the right path when this card's being drawn, and your long-term plans really seem to be certain, why not make a wish? And just put it out there to the universe, because the energy around you is just so wonderful. It really is. Now, this card also represents an Aquarian, so you may have an Aquarian that is quite significant in your life. Now, you've got the Judgment card there as well. Now, this Judgment card is quite lovely too. And this talks about coming close to completing an important task that you've been putting some effort into. And when you get the Judgment card, it really asks you to pause and review the past and what you've achieved, so that you can actually decide where it is you want to go in the future. So there's a lot of information here about planning stuff for the future and moving into the next stage of development. This can also, for a lot of you, involve career changes that you've been pondering. So just take the time to think through your options very carefully. You might make some really big decisions, but this card can really assure you that you're ready for anything. And, if you're preparing for exams or legal proceedings or certification tests or anything like that, when you get the Judgment card, it talks about things going very well for you in this situation. And another thing that the Judgment card does talk about for many of you, it talks about a rebirth, a reinvigoration that you're feeling in your life. And just like the angel that's coming in trumpeting and calling all the souls from their graves to come up to heaven, this is kind of like this energy of you being reborn and taking on a new life. So it's quite wonderful energy here. Now, you've got the Two of Swords as well. Now, the Two of Swords, all twos really are choices. But when it comes to the Two of Swords, this is the card of stalemate. Now, you might find yourself in a position where you're unable to choose. And because you can't choose the direction that you want to go in, it's almost like you're not moving forward at all. You're kind of just stuck. And this can talk about an inner conflict that you are feeling when you're at odds with yourself and you're not sure in which direction you want to go in. But part of the problem could be that you just don't want to face the issues that are at hand for you. And, the decision might be just a little bit too difficult or a little bit too painful to make. So you kind of push it to the bottom of your to-do list, or you pretend that the problem isn't there and hope that it just all resolves itself in the end. But this card is actually asking you to make a choice so you can move forward. And you've really got to release yourself from this trap of avoidance, Leo, and only you have the key to really set yourself free from this situation of feeling like you can't move forward. Now, also for some of you, this can be an indication that you're in a war of wills with someone else. Now, this could be with a water sign, so that is Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, because you do have the Knight of Cups directly beneath that. But if that is the case, this card really asks you to find a compromise or maybe seek mediation from a third party to help bring you out of this kind of stalemate situation. You're not able to go forward with someone, So, yeah, you might need some mediation there to help you onto that. But just remember, this is a general reading. So take what resonates for you and let everything else go. Now, the Hermit card as well. You are this card does represent a Virgo here, but the Hermit is also that card where you are going within. You're taking that time to meditate and take some time out and do some soul searching and really, what's the word? Go within and ask yourself some deep questions. Really, it's about it's a card of mentoring, and it's a card of being mentored as well, especially in spiritual teachings, or specifically in spiritual teachings for some. But it could be that you are called upon to maybe seek out a teacher to help you move forward. Or perhaps you've already done some inner kind of exploration and you've got some great insights from what you've learned through that process that you can actually share with other people as well. And, if you haven't been doing this, when you get the Hermit card, it is asking you to go within to pursue self-discovery. Find that quiet voice and listen to it. It's that voice that really comes from the depths of your soul. And it's just such a spiritual, quiet time in your life. And this can also just be talking about you actually being a bit of a hermit in May. You're not going out and partying and we are in COVID land, in a world of COVID and lockdowns. So there probably isn't that much going on, but I feel like this is you taking that time out to really reevaluate your plans and look at yourself deeply. And it can also even talk about just getting some really good advice from someone wise who can encourage you and help you. Now, I feel like for some of you, you feel this feeling of being left out in the cold as well. You've got the Five of Pentacles there. Now, this could potentially be feeling like you're being left out in the cold by a Virgo, or by an Aquarian, or even be potentially that water sign there, that Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio. But the thing with the Five of Pentacles is it seems like there's something lacking in your life, but it's more often a perception that this card is talking about. And it's a perception that the card is asking you to change. Because when you look at this image, you see the two people outside. They're unwell. One's on crutches. One's just kind of sitting with his head down, feeling like they're down and out. But if they look behind them, there is a beautiful stained glass window, and a church is right there. So if they went around, they could go into the church and they would get solace. There would be people there to be able to help them. And I feel like this is kind of where it's asking you to change your perception. You aren't in such a bad situation as you may think. Often this card does talk about financial worries. And for some of you, particularly at this time, you may be having some financial difficulties because of COVID. You may have work issues and things like that, worries about money. But it can also sometimes talk about an absence of friends or romance or opportunities in your life as well. But again, as long as you're focusing on what you don't have, it's like the law of attraction is actually bringing you more of this experience of lacking. You're lacking love, you're lacking friends, you're lacking money. And it really, this is why I'm feeling like this is kind of wonderful, in a wonderful position right next to the Hermit, because it really is asking you to do some of that soul searching and reevaluate the situation that you feel that you are in at the moment. You know, when you get this card, it actually indicates that there is a helping hand, but you just might be too distracted or too proud to ask for help. You know, and another thing with the 5 is it really is a temporary situation that eventually fades. And once your thoughts turn to a more positive energy, you are going to be able to change that. And you know what? It's right next to that Magician card. And the Magician card is all about manifesting your own reality. You have everything you need, Leos, to change your situation, to create whatever situation you want. You have everything you need to move forward. You know, you've got the gifts, you've got the talent, and you know, that perception that you're lacking some element or some additional knowledge in order to be successful is just not true. You really need, everything you really need is actually right there, and if not, it's going to magically appear for you very soon. You know, having the Magician doesn't guarantee that you're completely aware of what you want to accomplish, you know. Only you can really know that. Only you can really only really you can sort of formulate what it is that you want in your mind to accomplish. And you can choose anything, Leos. You can dream big here. You have such powerful cards, such very wonderful, powerful cards. And, you know, again, this is another card in a sense about spirit, talking about spirituality in a way, kind of like the Hermit is as well. You know, you might be looking for someone that's impartial to really help you understand your purpose. You might just be feeling that little bit stuck, like, or unsure about which way to proceed. But if you're already clear about your path, then this card really demands that there is no more procrastination from you, Leo. Magical things will happen, but you've got to take that first step. And again, this is kind of another message of what that Two of Swords was saying. You know, you might feel stuck, you might feel unsure about what direction or what choice you need to make, but once you make it, things are going to magically work out wonderfully for you. Now, your last card in the traditional tarot here is that Knight of Cups that I spoke of. And the Knight of Cups is just a wonderful, beautiful energy. This is, all knights are movement and movement in a new direction, or just movement forward, which is really great because it's right beneath that Two of Swords, which does talk about feeling a little bit stuck, a bit of a stalemate, going nowhere. So the Knight of Cups is really telling me that in May, things are going to be moving forward and you're going to be having quite a powerful new emotional experience, because the cups are emotions, love, things to do with feelings. So this can sometimes talk about falling in love or offers of marriage or any kind of romantic experience that might cause you to swoon a little bit here. And it might even leave you a little bit off balance as well. Um, you know, so just kind of try and stay grounded if you do have someone coming in and sweeping you off your feet there. Just don't forget to stay grounded here. And this card can, even if you're not interested in love or you're already in a relationship, this can just be talking about invitation to a wonderful or exciting social event of some kind for you. But it is just that wonderful, wonderful, loving, emotional energy around you. Now, if this does represent someone specific in your life, this is that person that does come in and sort of completely sweep you off your feet. There's poetry, there's roses and chocolates, and it kind of is whatever that makes your heart go pitter patter. And this night practically kind of, if you talk about this person or this night, the card, it is the epitome of the concept of romance, and you're going to really be feeling so enamored in May. And that is for those of you that are in a relationship too. You might find your other half being very, very romantic for you or towards you. And this kind of leads into your final card, and that is giving birth. And I mean, this can also be a very literal message. Some of you might find that you're pregnant, that you are bringing forth new life, but often this is just a wonderful card of, like, if you look at I don't know if you can see the affirmation on the bottom of this card, but it is, I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. So, this can really be talking about a lot of things, a lot of shifts that are going on for you. Now, the meaning of this card is, it's time to launch a new project. The ideas that have been gestating within you are ready to manifest. With attentive care and feeding, miracles can abound. The universe wants you to know, perhaps there is a quality project or talent within you that wants to be born. You've been nurturing and caring for it, and this is the perfect moment to share it with the world. Release it and let it soar. Give birth to your hopes and dreams. Timing is everything, and the time is now. That is a beautiful message, and it does tie in so well with so many of your cards. And if you do take this as the time to move forward, make that decision that the Two of Swords is asking you to make, you are going to be looked at with adulation. People are going to be rewarding you and applauding you. I just see such wonderful things for you, Leo. So really take the bull by the horns, guys and girls, and go for it. So I hope that resonated with you. If you're into crystal jewelry, check out my website at kasana.com.au. There are beautiful crystal pieces there, all one-off pieces only. They're designed and handmade in Australia by an Australian designer, and the meanings of those crystals are also on that website, so check those out. Have a great month, Leo, and I hope to see you next month. Bye.